The best way to explain the economics of a recurring revenue business or a consumption-based business is to think about it in terms of a single customer and how the revenue flows. So if you can imagine that you have a new customer, a net new name, with whom we're engaging for the first time. We are naturally spending money on marketing and selling activities to acquire and nurture that relationship to the point at which they decide to engage in a subscription contract with us. At that point in time, our subscription revenue, the recurring revenue, will begin. We have incurred sales and marketing costs. We continue to incur costs as we pay for the deployment or delivery of our service. At some point in time, which is measured as the payback time, so how long it takes us to pay back our customer acquisition costs, at some point in time, the money coming in from the recurring revenue subscriptions will be greater than the money that we've paid out, which means that as a business, for that one customer, we are now making a profit margin. The success of our cloud business or recurring revenue business is expressed in terms of customer lifetime value. The customer lifetime value is the sum of that profit margin, the total profit margin that we earn from the customer over time. Normally that's expressed as a forecast, a 3-year or a 5-year forecast of future profit. What's very interesting to shareholders, of course, is to be able to buy into a business who can predictably forecast their future profitability and the future returns on investment. Naturally, to maximize your lifetime value and to ensure predictability of your lifetime value for your shareholders, you need to have a strong customer retention rate. You need to be able to keep customers for a long lifetime. So your retention rate is critical to your business. As a benchmark, we should expect a ratio of 1 customer acquisition cost to 3 lifetime value. 1 to 3 in terms of a 3-year forecast lifetime value. In terms of that payback period, the time it takes to pay back your customer acquisition costs, it should be between 12 and 18 months. It may be up to 2 years. In certain markets, it may be less than 12 months. As a benchmark, 12 to 18 months. Looking at our retention rates, we should be benchmarking ourselves against a 90% retention rate. Best in class, 95%, 80-85% is okay. In terms of the economic model, if we understand that that is the way we make money, we can now consider the things that we can do that will help us to optimize the money that we make. And we start from the left-hand side and look at that customer acquisition process. The first and most important thing to do is to be very targeted in understanding our customer and have a very clear business value proposition for our customers. When we do that, we can think about the most efficient ways to create contacts, to acquire relationships, to nurture them, and to consummate that relationship. We can also think about the different ways of delivery. How can we package? How can we make delivery repeatable? How can we add IP, which creates incremental revenue streams? Now, it turns out from a retention point of view, how do we optimize retention? That optimizing retention is best when we continuously engage and upsell and cross-sell our customers. Because by doing so, we're demonstrating continuously how we can bring new innovations and add new value to our customer. When we remain relevant and we bring continuous innovation to our customers, then customers stay with us for a long lifetime. Of course, every time we introduce some additional value and upsell or cross-sell, of course, we're introducing a new revenue stream for ourselves as well, which increases our profitability. So the two go hand in hand. If we think about the different sales models that are commonly found in our industry, you get 4 dominant models. There's the freemium, a bit like going onto an app store and taking an app for free, but then paying for in-app purchases or paying for some kind of professional rather than personal use. The second one is self-service. Everything is self-service of a digital platform. The third one is inside sales, where salespeople are based around a call center type model and don't travel to customers. And the fourth one is the field-based sales executive. Now, naturally, each of those sales models has a different cost profile, with field sales being the most expensive. What's interesting though is that studies show that the cost relationship between those different models in fact is incremental. So from one model to next, the cost grows exponentially. As a thought process then, whatever we can do to change our sales model from the high cost on the right-hand side towards the left is a good thing. Naturally, the model that we require for our target market does depend on the kind of customers we're engaging with, the kind of solutions that we're selling. However, the challenge for us is to see what we can do to move ourselves from the right towards the left. The other thing to think about is the relative cost to sale when it comes to winning a net new customer compared to creating an incremental upsell or cross-sell within an existing happy customer. We know that the relative cost of an upsell into a happy customer is probably only 7% of the initial cost to sell. Ranges in terms of the upsell may range from different industry and different kinds of businesses, 7% to 14%. Perhaps introducing a cross-sell into a different line of business is a bit more expensive. Bottom line though is that for every euro or dollar or pound that we sell as an upsell or cross-sell, our profit margin is far higher because it's cost us far less to sell. Now, if you think about those two things together, how can we optimize our sales process to make it as fast, efficient, and low cost as possible, but also create the opportunity for continuous upsell? What's the smallest thing that we can package that'll allow us to engage a customer and deliver value quickly, which will provide us with a foundation of a happy customer for which we can create upsell and cross-sell? So in other words, by designing something small of value to the customer, we're able to think about a different sales model. Is there a more efficient, cheaper sales model that we can use to take that to the customer in the first place? So up front, taking a value proposition that can be sold cheaply and simply and fast, for fast value for our customer. Reduces the cost to sell in the most expensive net new name case. And then gives us a platform for upsell and cross-sell, which of course is far more profitable than the initial sale in the first place. By the way, as I've already said, the best strategy for retention of customers for life is by continuously demonstrating value and being strategically engaged through upsell and cross-sell.